Seek the light in darkness.
This year, LG put a big emphasis on their products that do have AI built in, as well as their transparent OLED displays. Some of the coolest tech that I saw that LG had with AI built in was this little hub that you put on your nightstand. It's got these cool little eyes on it, and you can pretty much talk to it like you do your Amazon Alexa. They also have this Stand By Me 2 monitor that you can pretty much put wherever you want because it does have a built-in battery. You can use it to stream things, or you can just use it like a regular tablet. They're also integrating their AI tech into automobiles as well. They've got some really cool eye tracking where the car is kind of tracking your eyes and what you're looking at, and the car will talk and respond based on what you're looking at as well. I'm not sure you're going to see this tech anytime soon, but it is definitely a cool innovation. They didn't show off really any TVs except for their brand new C5 OLED, which looks absolutely amazing. I've got the C2 and I absolutely love it. So definitely looking forward to what the C5 has to offer for this year. They were also showcasing a ton of different gaming monitors. Most of them were curved, but they did have some flat screens. And the coolest gaming monitor by far that I saw at CES has to be this Ultra Gear 45-inch bendable OLED screen. You don't have to bend it by hand, it's all automatic. You just simply press the button and you have the option of about 20 different positions based on how much of a curve you want on the screen. At the time there was no pricing for this monitor, but I'm assuming it's probably going to be around the $2,500 range or more. Now, as far as the transparent OLED displays goes, it's definitely a cool piece of technology. I'm not really sure that you would probably want this as your TV in your home, because when you're watching TV, you really want to get those darks for that good contrast ratio. But the display does have this rollable film that does come up behind the screen, so it will make the screen a lot darker. But again, if you're a consumer and you have this in your home, I don't know why you would want to ever roll down that screen. I think the best use case for the screen is for maybe displaying ads or something for a store in a mall or some signage, something like that. But either way, it was definitely really cool to see. Another really big thing at CES this year were these mammoth TVs. And the two main companies that were showing off this technology were Hisense and TCL. I was super impressed with the micro LED displays that they showed off this year. And like I mentioned before, these TVs were huge. And seeing that in person, I couldn't believe how big the TV was. And if you needed something larger than 116 inches, they went to the modular displays that use these little micro LED squares. So you can pretty much make a display as big as you wanted. And the picture quality on these was absolutely phenomenal. Another really big thing with their TVs was the fact that they were using a lot of matte screens on some of their displays, mainly their canvas TV. And the thought behind this was to be able to use your TV as a piece of artwork as well as a regular TV. So when it's not in use, it just displayed this beautiful artwork. And because of the matte display, if you have it in a very brightly lit room, you don't have to worry about glare.
And give it a second. Ambient art mode kicks back on.
Moves pretty quick. It's pretty nice.
Saber blade. Seek the light in darkness.
In addition to their mammoth TVs, they also showed off their brand new UST laser projector, the L9Q. This projector is 4K and it's got about 5,000 lumens that can project up to a 150-inch display. So if you were looking at purchasing the Hisense PX3 Pro, I would definitely hold off until the L9Q comes out, or at least until they release their pricing. Heading over to TCL's exhibit, they had a lot of their own micro and mini LED displays. Again, these were some of the largest displays that I have ever seen myself. One of their biggest TVs was about 115 inches, and if you needed bigger than the regular traditional display, again, you could also go to their micro LED displays that were modular. So you could pretty much build as big as the display as you needed. And one of the really cool things about the modular displays is if one part of the display goes out, you just buy a new module and simply plug it into place and you're good to go. TCL also had this really good representation of what their backlighting is now versus when they first started for their mini LEDs. You can really make out what the picture is just by the backlighting from the mini LEDs that they're using now from the mini LEDs that they used in the past. TCL also had their own versions of the matte displays. So again, not only is it meant to be used as a TV, but it also could be used as a work of art, whether it be on this really nice stand or you could also mount it on your wall. And even though the matte display takes away from some of the sharpness, it still looks really amazing. TCL was also showing off a display technology that they're calling NXT paper. Basically what it is, it's a matte display that can be used on pretty much anything, but they were showing it off with tablets and phones. So instead of having to get a matte film screen protector or tempered glass, it's pretty much already built directly into the screen itself. It did make the display a little softer looking versus a regular glass screen, but it was super smooth and it also keeps down those fingerprints as well as glare. And it's also got blue light blocking built in. Samsung was also showing off their own version of their matte displays. They had this huge display room with all of their matte TVs hanging on the wall. And this one TV in particular in the middle, I really couldn't even tell that it wasn't just a piece of art, but in fact it was one of their displays. This screen gives you the illusion of depth when looking into it, and they also said that the screen is equivalent to a 10-foot display when looking at it from a couple feet. And there were also some holographic displays that I thought were pretty cool. It kind of made it look like the image was coming off the screen and was right in front of you.
distance. I've got a long way to drop. Oh, I never get here on my own.